Okay. I will call to order this morning's meeting of Environmental Concerns and Real Property for the last chance meeting. And I'm going to turn it away to our Real Property Director.
Good morning, everybody. Last chance meeting, 2020. The first person that we have on for the last chance meeting is Shauna Shepherd. And the property is in the town of Bolton. It's a campground, and Shauna would like to ask for an extension. But before that happens, I just want to ask Treasurer Swan one quick question that I meant to ask him this morning. My question for you, because I know when this property was in an installment agreement before, it was under, I want to say what, Great Escape something. Shauna, what's the name of the campground?
Schroon River Escape.
Okay, so I think the property was owned by Schroon River Escape before, wasn't it? Or was it under your ex-husband, Raymond Shepherd?
It was under his until 3 years ago.
So when did it change hands and go to just you?
Well, technically only about 2 years ago.
But that's okay. So I'm wondering, could we offer her an installment agreement now because it's different ownership? Instead of
Absolutely.
making her wait till before, you know, it's always you have to
Yeah,
wait.
it's 3
until
years.
next- Yeah, but because this is
If it's
just under
changed hands,
just
it's
Shauna now,
Ownership.
I would,
Can I say something? My concern is that the way that our attorneys did in our divorce, which kind of really ended up kind of backfiring on me, is that he never moved it out of my name when we got the divorce. When we got the divorce, could you guys hear me?
yep,
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. It was supposed to be moved just into Ray's name, and it never was, so technically, I was still an officer, so I don't know if that matters, I just wanted to.
Yeah, it does.
If it's changed, the title is changed, so it's different. Let's just say, for instance, it was you and your husband, and now it's just you, that's a change in ownership.
That is what happened, it was both of us.
Okay.
Just
Now it's a
me.
definite change in ownership. Dickinson on law, Claudia.
Dennis, the only thing that we're trying to get her past is till August 3rd or something.
no,
so
she
that-
has to go to the end of August.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. She's the end of August, so that she is past the time frame that she would otherwise be prohibited if she had been on the ownership.
But I'm thinking because of the ownership change, that's why I wanted to ask Mike.
I don't have an answer for that because I haven't really run across that before, so I'm not sure.
Robert, is there anything you could help us with on that? If it was under, I'm trying to get into my real property right now to see how the title was before. Because I just thought that could, if that was the case, possibly she could go into an installment agreement now instead of having to wait another month. If I can get to my records real quick, I'm sorry.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't understand what your issue is, I guess.
Well, because if it was in her name all along, then she would have to wait to enter into the agreement. But if it was a changed ownership,
Why don't you, Lexi, why don't you look at that afterwards? But I think the committee's probably comfortable granting her the extension until the end of August. If in
I'll
fact-
make that motion, Claudia.
All right, just,
And a second by Supervisor Hogan. And I'll let the treasurer discuss. I hear him behind me.
well, I just want to bring up the fact that she brought in a cashier's check for $35,000. I'm holding it in my office. So whenever she is allowed to enter into the installment, it will happen. Because I have the check, and it's more than enough to get her into, I think her minimum was $28,000. So she's good to go. I mean, this, as far as I'm concerned, this is guaranteed. It's just we just need to know when to let her into the installment. That's it.
Correct.
the title was Raymond and Shauna, and then in 2016, it went to just Shauna. So I just don't know how if that's legal, that she could enter into it now or not, because she was a prior owner.
Well, and I can tell you in past cases, when there's been a divorce and it was a person's home, and they were both under title at the time that the installment was started, and then one of them leaves, the other one who wanted to continue the installment had to wait 3 years.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll have her wait. That's fine, though, she's got the money already being held by the treasurer's office. So is it the very last day of August? Is that what we're doing, August 31st?
I think the 27th is, after the 27th is the date.
It's not on here, so, yeah.
The 27th?
It would be the next
Shauna, does that give
business
you
day
enough
after
time to
27th.
come in between August 27th and August 31st?
No,
Oh,
it
yeah,
would be
definitely.
till
Yeah.
August 27th she has.
She can't enter.
Right.
Right, it's after August 27th, so the first business day after the 27th, I don't know what day that is of the week, but
Yeah, it's a Monday.
it's a Monday, so that,
Just
then,
make sure you get in here that
Tuesday.
week.
I definitely will.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
yep. Any further discussion? I'm going to call the question if I don't see anybody. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, that carries. Lexi?
Okay, so our second one is a Mr. Dufour, Ronald Dufour. I kind of had people set up in 15-minute increments. I did leave his name downstairs, but I think on his, I could probably just speak for his. He has been in an installment agreement before, and again, that 3 years applies. From when you first enter, you can't enter into another one until 3 years later. So he needs until August 1st. August 1st, however, falls on a Saturday, so he would need until Monday, August 3rd, to be able to enter into a new installment agreement. Both Treasurer Swan and myself have spoke with this man. That is what he wants to do. Mike had, granted him until the 31st, and then we figured out that he needed until the 1st. So he really needs until August 3rd, if you guys are willing to grant him till August 3rd for an extension.
I think it might be appropriate
I'll
to
move
give
it.
him until August 31st as well.
No. You think he needs that long?
No.
He doesn't. He is upset that he's doing this just for a minute, he thinks. So August 3rd is good for him.
Does he have the payment for the initial?
I would assume so. It's a matter of the date.
All right, I just don't want to give him only one day to come here. How about August 7th?
Okay,
Friday of
sure.
that week.
Yep, we'll give him till August 7th.
Anybody? Okay, Matt,
I'll
Supervisor
move
Simpson, is
that.
that a motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Do I have a second on that? Thank you, Supervisor Stroud.
Yes.
Any discussion?
Do I leave?
Yes, you can leave, Shauna.
Sorry. All right, thank you guys so much.
Bye, thank you for zooming in.
Thank you. Bye, I'm unzooming. Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, that carries. Thanks, guys.
That was all I really had. We have dwindled down quite a bit in people paying. I can give you a quick total here.
Yep.
34.
And I think while she's looking at that, maybe Treasurer Swan, you could give us an update on how it went with the new procedure this year, getting people to come into the office sooner.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear what you said.
Can you give us just a update on how it went in your office this year with the new kind of deadline being July rather than August?
I really haven't had much difference, because the last couple of years I've been granting extensions till the end of July, so I don't know, I gave you the list, there's probably 15 on there, 20, something like that.
Okay.
It's a lot less than it was last year, I know that,
Okay.
but, no, it seems to be going pretty good.
20
20.
exactly, that he's got for extensions.
So, I don't know, we'll just see. What I'm more concerned about is the fact that the last chance meeting has been moved out of August into July. because we have some
Late.
repeat offenders, shall I say, that think that they still have that August meeting to come to and save their property. We've been very clear about that to anybody we've talked to, that that's no longer the case. So we'll just see what happens at the end of July.
Okay, I mean, Lexi in the past has called these people. Have you been calling them this year?
Well, undefaulted installment agreement people, yeah. So,
To
and,
let them know that.
We only
it's not
ha-
Until August.
right, we only have 6 people left under defaulted installment agreements that haven't. And some of them are in Mike's extension list. So defaulted installment agreements are pretty well handled. I mean, there's 56 total parcels left in for the auction, and we may have 1 or 2 carryovers from last year. So, I mean, we're looking pretty good for now, because that 56 number includes those 20 that Mike has granted extensions to, so that would be down to like 36 parcels for the auction, if we get to move forward with our auction. So, I think we're really looking pretty good for right now.
Yeah, we are.
You know, I'm going to go back after the meeting and take a peek at anybody that's under my defaulted installment agreements that didn't come in or aren't on Mike's extension list, and I would reach back out to them again, just to see where they're at. But, you know, I know one lady had talked, when I talked to her, she had said she had contacted an attorney to file for Chapter 13. I know extension,
36 though doesn't sound like very many.
that's about what we go to
That's
the
about
auction
normal.
with.
Oh,
That's
okay.
normal.
All right.
Extension. It's right, it's totally right on track. This lady, Terry Margaret, I haven't heard anything from her. I think I've reached out to her too, and we didn't hear anything back from the Brooks, did we, other than they were listing the property?
I gave him an extension till the end of the month, and the
Okay.
property was listed last week by Friedman Realty. He feels that he'll have no problem getting a contract before the end of the month, so.
Did you hear any more on the Curry? He's back on here, okay, I didn't know if you heard from the attorney on that one again.
No, the check was supposed to be in the mail last week, and we haven't received it yet, so
Okay.
I gave him an
So,
extension.
any of the ones that are in my defaulted installment agreements, they basically have extensions, or there's the one bankruptcy, or, whatever I said the other one was, the one lady that hasn't reached out to anybody. So I will try her again and see what I can find. And then the other, would be mixed through, the other 30. So I'll see if I can find anything even on those people and try to reach out to those people. You can always Google and get phone numbers that way, or white pages, and I guess I can try
Well,
reaching out to them.
You can send the list to the town supervisors too, if anybody.
I've
wants
already
to.
done that.
You've done that, okay. Yep. All right. I know the other thing the county attorney's office is watching is, right now, I believe there's still a prohibition on filing new foreclosure actions.
Still, that people's time to answer has been extended to August 5th, so anybody who was served with a petition, they still have time to answer. I have to give them, they have 30 days after the tolling ends, so actually the tolling ends August 5th, so they have the 30 days after that, so we're looking at like September 4th and that, as far as when their time to answer would end, so it would be sometime after that. I think the 4th is that Friday before Labor Day weekend, so
And my
I'd have
them to
through that, it
September.
would be that following Tuesday after Labor Day would be the earliest at this point that it could bring forth a file for a default application to get a default judgment on all the people who haven't answered. That's also been frozen by a court order from the judicial district. They won't accept default motions or applications for non-appearance. That's still in place. So even if the governor's executive order ends, if the judicial district isn't going to allow us to file a default motion against the people who haven't answered the tax foreclosure petition, we're still kind of frozen in place.
Okay. So we'll have to see how things move along, because we might not be able to do an actual auction this calendar year,
Possibly.
the way things are getting bumped out.
Can I ask one more question of our attorney? Can you give an update, maybe pull your microphone down so we can hear on
Can you guys
the,
hear when Robert is speaking?
Andrea's saying
Yes.
no. Andrea's shaking her head no, so if you tip
Speaking
that
to-
down,
yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
If we can give an update on where we're at with the Mullins property foreclosure,
Okay.
just so everybody knows, because I know I have gotten some emails questioning where we stand with that.
We're in the same boat
Title.
with that one. Yeah, we're in the same boat with that one as we are with the tax foreclosure itself, in that the 4th Judicial District, our district that administers the courts here, won't let us file a default motion to seek judgment to get ownership of the property for the county, because we'd be doing it by default because nobody has answered on behalf of the Mullins. So they won't let us apply for that. They won't accept the filing and allow us to get a default judgment against anybody who hasn't answered in it. So we're kind of stuck until that order is lifted or expires. And at the same time, the governor has the executive order in place, which tolls the statute of limitations for people to answer. So that extends the time for everybody too. That's been extended again to August 5th. So after that, for the regular tax foreclosure, I have to give them 30 days to answer after August 5th. So we're looking at September 4th as the end of the waiting period for that. After September 4th, if nobody's answered the petition for the tax foreclosure, I can go ahead and file the default judgment on that. I call it our big tax foreclosure, our main tax foreclosure. And the Mullen property is essentially in the same boat until that judicial district order is lifted and I can make a default motion. We're basically stuck having to wait and wait.
All right, thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, are there any public comments? Don or someone?
Hi, Chairwoman Reaver. No, there are no public comments on YouTube.
All right, I think that's our only business for today, yes? All right. I'll-
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Thank you, Dennis. Andrea, the second, thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye,
Bye, guys. We have another meeting at 9:45.
right. Good job, Alex,
Thanks, Dennis.
as always.